Okay, so the question begs, how am I doing on this week 3 of no hauling from the grocery store? Am I surviving? Let me check. I guess so. Yeah, it sounds like it, doesn't it? Hey, listen, I want to mention something about the video clip that I'm going to play. This is separate from everything else and it's brand new, and I just thought I'd play it for you before I come back and talk about the groceries. Back in a minute. I just had to include a little something different, and I will play this video clip every once in a while because I think it is a refreshing way to start the day, to clear our mind of all distractions, and to remind ourselves we should be a blessing. We should be a blessing. There you go. Hey, I'm Jan from New York City. I love helping people to keep some more of their own hard earned money. I also like to try to keep some money for myself, too. There you go. So I said, many times I see people, as an experiment in their own life, they decided to stop going grocery shopping for X number period of time. For some people, that might be 2 weeks. For some people, that might be a month. And since I felt rather secure in attempting to go beyond the 2 weeks, I decided to challenge myself for 1 month. Well, how am I doing on week 3? Week 3 is no worse or better off than week 2. And I'm really happy to report that. Why do I say that? I was prepared. I was beyond prepared. This is good to know. It is what I call a practice drill in case. But you want to know something? I have not gone into my not active pantry. I go into my active pantry, which would include my refrigerator, my freezer, and my regular stuff that I would keep in the cupboard normally after a regular grocery shopping. I still have not gone into my stockpile, which is really, really great. And it goes to show that if you plan carefully enough, one could do this. But I'm thinking about something that I know is tried and true, and it has to do with meal prepping. You see, meal prepping and your inventory work hand in hand. What do I mean by that? By being actively and conscientiously aware of your inventory, of your active pantry, it will help you take more of a control as to what is going on with your meal prepping and so on and so forth. Now, what I like to do when I get fresh meat, for example, ground beef, this is why when I talk about meal planning, I don't necessarily mean, though there's nothing wrong with it for the folks that don't mind doing it, like writing down a list of days with a list of ideas or whatever meals you literally plan and write the title of the meal down. And that's fine if that's what you do. And there's nothing wrong with it. For myself, I rather plan on the components of meals. So it's interchangeable. Either way, if it works for your family, that's what works for you. That's the way I look at it. Okay. Now, what I like to do, for example, since I am a family of one, what I like to do is if I see the family pack of ground beef, I am going to go for it. That is the best price for me. And I do a number of things. One, I like to take the ground beef, some of it, maybe about 3/4 of it, and I like to brown it, like it's still grind it up, and just browning it and just draining it, and I could add my seasonings to it. And then what I like to do is make individual packets of that beef to be either sprinkled on top of a sauce, for example, or to be even used as sort of like a weird hamburger. Of course, people can make sloppy Joe. What do I mean by a weird hamburger? Well, we're used to hamburgers in one piece, right? The solid round block. of hamburger. What I do instead, I'll just take those crumbles, for example, heat them up quickly. I'll put it on a toasted bun and I'll throw some shredded cheese over it, a little bit of ketchup, and I am good to go. It does not have to be in a block. It is still literally a hamburger, just kind of sort of broken up, if you will. But what I do love about having those beef crumbles, now some people would rather swap it out with turkey, and that's totally okay. And some people don't eat meat altogether. I eat meat, but I do not eat tons of meat. Okay. I like meat, but I do not eat tons of meat. That's where I go with that. Now, what I also like to do, I like to make these mini unflavored, like, excuse me, not with breadcrumbs and not with an egg meatball. Meaning, I'll just make little miniature meatballs that were seasoned with a little garlic powder, little onion powder, a little bit of parm cheese, and I literally make them miniature size. I'll make a whole bunch of those. And then what I will do, I will just saute them, let it cool down, wrap in the freezer. Well, why are you doing that, Janet? Meatball soup is one good reason, or meatball stew. It is already cooked. I just love being able to put components together. For example, in my active pantry, I had a can of, well, I have more than one, but I had a can of mixed vegetables. Always keep mixed vegetables on hand. They are really, in my opinion, one of the best secret ingredients that you could keep for budget stretching, because mixed vegetables has everything you could think in there. Perfect for stews, perfect for soups, perfect for casseroles. So, in case I want to make a meatball soup, very easiest thing on planet Earth, all I have to do is just fill up a pot of boiling water, simmer it, use as much water as I want, depending on how much soup that I want. Add my already cooked meatballs in there, throw it in, put in any vegetables that I want. The canned or frozen mixed vegetables work great. And I like to put either cannellini, you could put cannellini beans if you prefer, but also I was going to say to put in a ditalini are little short pastas, or you could put in a rice, or you could put in small, any small type of pasta works really, really well. Small shells or any small type of pasta works really great. Another thing you could do if you have spaghetti, or if you have thin spaghetti or vermicelli or whatever, break that up into small pieces, and you got yourself, as I call it, a spaghetti and meatball soup. Look how easy. One pot alone regenerates like about, well, depends on how much you make, but I could literally get 7 to 8 decent cup-sized servings out of mine on the cheap. I keep a couple down in my refrigerator to go along with a sandwich, for example, during the week, and the rest I can freeze and take down as I need it. Busy nights, tired nights, don't feel well nights. It's comforting. It's great. No bones to worry about because it's not made with bone. It's made with ground beef. Miniature meatball soup is really, really quite good. Just saying, just saying. By the way, cut up a fresh tomato and throw it in that soup. It's really, really good with that. Just saying, just saying. And an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce works for me. You don't have that? Throw in a can of tomato soup with the water, and it really tastes really, really good. Listen, I'm here to talk about it. I'm budget stretching, and it is actually fun. Would I go beyond a month of this experiment? No, because I don't want to go too deep down where I have to like get into my pantry stockpile. I rather not do that because I'm building it up. But to know that I'm still going totally okay with my regular refrigerator stuff, freezer stuff, and my active pantry on week 3, and the way I plan things and the way I see things, I should be going into week 4 without a hitch. Maybe one day you can consider it. Try it on a smaller basis, perhaps with 2 weeks if you feel on edge about going for the whole month. The whole point of this experiment, really, and that's what it is an experiment, is to see how long I could go easily just with my active pantry. So it's not a big deal. I'm totally happy with that. All right. So week 3, surviving very, very well. Hey, listen, I really would appreciate it if you would do the following. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Don't forget to take good care of each other and yourself too. Bye bye.